Hi, I'm Rachel Carta, registered nurse, life coach, and yoga instructor. Welcome to Monday Messages. This is a place where we get inspired for the week. We learn about how to stop negative thinking and become calm, peaceful, and grateful. It's the simple, everyday habits we do that create our lives. A great life doesn't happen by accident. It's time to live inspired.
Today's episode is about the thoughts in our head and what we can do about it. What is in your head on repeat? Thoughts are often the result of habitual thinking. You begin thinking a certain way, and then it becomes a habit. Once something becomes a habit, it happens more subconsciously, without much thought at all. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a habit. You don't even have to think about it much. It just happens. What I mean here is that so many of our thought patterns, good and bad, are happening without us even realizing it. When we start to pay attention and watch the thoughts, that is when they enter into the light. Once they're in the light, they hold so much less power. Are your thoughts largely positive or negative? You won't know until you start to pay attention. This is where yoga and meditation play a huge role, because these modalities ask you to become the observer of your thoughts. You see, if we don't observe our thoughts, we can't know if we need to change them. Unfortunately, many people, myself included, stand in judgment of those thoughts as they begin to notice them. This is something I continually have to keep in check. Just because a negative thought pops into your mind, it doesn't have to produce a subsequent beatdown of yourself. Thoughts lose power when you decide to become the observer. You notice them, you let them float on by. You don't have to identify with them or even believe they're true. In fact, most of them likely aren't true at all. Remember, as you think, you choose. You choose whether or not to act on what you're thinking about. And to add on to that, you choose your next reaction. Why does it matter to pay attention to your thoughts? Well, research shows that negative thinking is linked to anxiety, stress, depression, obsessive thinking, chronic worry, and obsessive-compulsive disorder, and even more. Here is the most exciting part of all of this. We can change our thought patterns and our reactions to those thoughts. Not only can we change them, but in doing so, we actually change our DNA. In my study of the work of Dr. Carolyn Leaf, she points out that as our thinking begins to change, we restructure our brain. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? This is the ability of the brain to change. I don't know about you, but I am super excited about our ability to change our brains. Many times it feels like there's no way out, or that we need a drug to help fight an issue we are having. Also, I just want to note right here that this message does not replace a trip to the doctor's office. Please consult your doctor before stopping any medications you're taking. In fact, let me give you even more reasons why changing your thoughts and reactions matter. Stress, which can be the result of negative thinking, is the cause of many diseases and health problems. Dr. Leaf describes two types of stress: the good stress, or being alert and in alignment; the harmful stress, being the one that results in toxic thinking. Research shows that 75 to 98% of health problems are linked to stress. How can you change your thoughts? The first step is to notice them. We can't change something we don't know is there. I included a short meditation so that you can see how easy it is to take a few minutes to become quiet. Regular meditation practice has an enormous benefit, and I can talk about that in another message. But just so you know, meditating just one time isn't going to be the answer to all of what you're looking for. It's the regular practice, the coming to the quietness each and every day that starts to produce massive results in your life. In fact, maybe we should talk about that next week. After you begin to notice the thoughts, the next step is to decide, is this true? Really true? After that, you can decide if you want to believe it or not. Make no mistake, it is your choice to believe the thoughts and then act on them. It's not always your choice to have the thoughts. In fact, stop beating yourself up for having them at all. After you notice the truth or untruth of the thoughts, you can decide to change them. You can find a positive way to change the voice in your head. I could tell you story after story after story of the crazy thoughts that are in my head. Even in the middle of taking a nursing test, knowing that I was doing the best I could, knowing that I had studied and that I had prepared and that I was here to do my best, and even the evidence of really good grades that had happened before. The thoughts that were in my head were ones of defeat, and if I hadn't known the truth of what I'm teaching you today, if I would have believed what I heard, there is no way I could have emerged victorious in that setting. And that goes for anything. It goes for inside of your marriage, inside of your head as a parent. Everywhere you go, there are going to be voices that you hear, words that you hear that are not true, that are designed to throw you completely off of your path. It is your choice to believe them or not, and it takes practice. At first, you will believe them, or you'll think you're the one that's the imposter. But as you get used to it, you'll be able to see the reality of what you hear. After you notice the truth or the untruth of those thoughts, you can decide to change them. You can find a positive way to change the voice in your head. Another choice, and an awesome and amazing one, is to write or even say out loud the things that you're grateful for each and every single day. This begins the process of changing your brain, literally restructuring your DNA. I could go on and on and on about this subject, but I know you're busy, so let's get to the recap. First things first is notice the thoughts. Step 2, decide, is this really true? Step 3, make a choice to believe or to laugh at the absurdity of what you just realized your own head is thinking. Step 4, change the narrative to a more positive and empowering voice. Step 5, practice gratitude every single day. Please remember how important this work is. And if you need help with this, I am here to help you and would love to help take you to that next level to show you how to take that thinking into one that is empowering. Life is too short to remain stuck in a pattern like this. I would love for you to take these 5 steps, notice the thoughts, decide, is it really true? Make a choice to believe it or laugh at it. Change the narrative to something more positive. Practice gratitude every single day. Remember that you create your day.
Thank you so much for listening. Please join me in my private Facebook group, Inspired Motion Community. As always, I love to hear from you. Head over to my website at rachelcardawellness.com. You can send me a message and find past blog posts and other events and offerings. Remember, you matter. Your life matters. It's time to live the life you were designed to live.